Welcome to the deep dive. Today, forget just, skimming the Pokedex. We're really jumping into the world of Sprigatito and its whole evolutionary line.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one. We've got a lot to draw on the games, obviously Scarlet and Violet, but also the Pokemon Horizons anime, manga, TCG.
Even Pokemon Sleep and Pokemon Go data.
Exactly. So our goal here isn't just to say, oh, it's a cute grass cat. We want to dig into the biology, the cultural stuff behind it, and why it's actually pretty significant in competitive play, too.
Totally. We want to figure out why this line, Sprigatito, Florigato, Meowscarado, why they've kind of captured everyone's attention.
Right. Let's get into it.
Okay, starting with Sprigatito itself. The Grass Cat Pokemon, it's small, right? Like 0.4 meters, about 4 kilos.
Tiny, but packed with interesting details. That fur, for instance, it's described as plant-like, light green, almost like it photosynthesizes.
Like a little walking plant cat.
Yeah.
And it's got those really distinctive green ears, the tuft on its chest. It all looks very deliberate.
Absolutely. And then there's the aroma. It generates this sweet scent by rubbing its paws together.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. Apparently it's mesmerizing. Can even stop battles.
It can, which is interesting. A seemingly gentle ability, but maybe it hints at something trickier down the line.
Good point. And it gets stronger in the sun.
That's what the Violet Pokedex entry suggests, yeah. It really uses its environment.
Plus, it's always washing its face. The Scarlet entry mentions that, to keep its fur from drying out because it's so plant-like.
It's these little details, these behaviors that make them feel more real, don't they?
They really do. What about its abilities?
Well, you've got Overgrow, pretty standard for grass starters, boosts grass moves when its HP is low.
Right?
But then there's the hidden ability, Protean. That's the big one.
Protean. Changes its type to match the move it uses, right? Though it's different now in Gen 9.
Exactly. Now it's only once to switch in. Still, a really powerful tactical ability, even for a first-stage Pokemon. Adds a layer of strategy right away.
And its personality seems lively. The descriptions say capricious, attention-seeking.
Definitely. Apparently it sulks if you ignore it.
A bit of a drama queen.
But then its scent is calming when it sleeps. It's this mix of traits.
You can sort of see the seeds of the later evolutions there, maybe? That attention-seeking. Does that become Florigato's showing off, Meowscarado's whole performer thing?
That's a really interesting connection. Is it deliberate design foreshadowing?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just how feline traits get interpreted makes you think.
Okay, let's look at the base stats. Table 1 shows, typical first-stage stuff, mostly.
But look at speed and attack. 65 speed, 61 attack. For an unevolved starter, that's not bad. Hints at being quick on its feet.
Yeah, suggests a certain playstyle from the start, like you said. And the Pokedex entries, like we mentioned, Scarlet focuses on the fur and the washing.
Well, Violet really pushes the sweet scent angle, especially the sunlight thing.
It's like different field researchers noticing different things,
Which happens all the time in real science. Different focuses, different environments.
So in the Scarlet and Violet games, you get Sprigatito as one of the 3 choices from Director Clavel. Classic starter moment.
And Nimona picks the one weak to yours, of course. Can always count on Nimona for a good type matchup battle.
Yeah. An early game, that grass typing helps against water, ground, rock.
But you got to watch out for bug and flying types. They can be a real pain early on.
Definitely shapes your early strategy.
For sure. Understanding those matchups is Pokemon 101.
And it's not just the games. Like, Ko's Sprigatito in Pokemon Horizons is a major character.
Right. Female, has overgrowth, raised by someone named Marnia. There's a whole backstory. Apparently, some past incident made her a bit cautious.
The TCG even calls her quirky, has a lot of personality.
It does. And then in the Pokemon Adventures manga, Scarlet Sprigatito shows off moves like Hone Claws, Leafage, Seed Bomb.
So you see it in action in different ways.
It's cool how they build on those core ideas across different media.
Okay, so that's Sprigatito. Cute, aromatic, maybe a little needy. But then level 16 happens.
And we get Florigato, the dexterous performer.
And the biggest change, it stands up.
Yep, goes bipedal. Gets bigger too, 0.9 meters, maybe 12 kilos. The fur's longer, darker, green bits, and that leafy ruff around its neck.
And the vine. It has that vine hidden away with a pink flower bud on the end.
Crucial element. The Pokedex says it wields it very skillfully, even uses the bud like a weapon, smacking opponents with it because it's surprisingly hard.
So it's using tools now. That's a big step.
Definitely. Abilities are the same, Overgrow and Protean.
But the personality shifts again, right? More mischievous.
Intelligent, dexterous, yes, and definitely mischievous. Likes to show off its skills.
And if you ignore it?
Might tie you up with its vine, apparently. Playful, but maybe a bit tricky.
And its fur can get sharp, needle sharp, ready for battle.
That's what the Violet entry says, yeah. Fur hardness depends on its mood.
Haha.
Yeah.
Needle sharp fur. You
Yeah.
think that's maybe a hint towards the dark typing later? It's possible. A subtle hint of something sharper, more dangerous, under that performer exterior. It makes you wonder if other design elements pointed that way too.
Interesting thought. Stat-wise, Table 4 shows a nice jump. Speed hits 83, attack up to 80.
Yeah, definitely becoming more of a threat offensively. A clear step up.
And the Pokedex entries for Florigato in Table 5, Scarlet talks about the vine and bud weapon.
And Violet emphasizes the fur changing hardness with its mood. Again, slightly different angles on its new skills.
And we see this evolution happen in the anime, too. Like Eiko Sprigatito becomes Florigato.
Right, in episode HC045. And it even terrestrializes later on. Shows its development.
Same in the manga, Scarlet's evolves during a gym battle, underscores its growth.
Yeah.
Florigato feels like a bridge. Going bipedal opens the door for more complex actions. The vine and bud clearly foreshadow flower trick.
Mm-hmm.
And the personality gets louder and more performer-like. It's like the awkward teen phase before the final act. That's a good way to put it. Losing some of that pure kitten charm, gaining skills, performance, and maybe a little bit of guile.
And then comes level 36, the grand finale. Meowscarada, the masterful magician.
And boom, grass dark type. It gets taller, 1.5 meters, heavier too, over 30 kilos.
And the look, it's so dramatic, slender, those big poofy sleeves, the dark legs, and that mask.
That four-pointed mask is key. Very theatrical, gives it that mysterious look.
Yeah.
And the points look like ears, which is clever.
Totally. What's the design thinking there, Diarkin? The mask, the whole vibe.
It screams performer, magician, maybe even a touch of the Phantom Thief. The pink petal collar flows into this amazing cape.
With the reflective lining and the fleur-de-lis shapes at the ends. So stylish.
Pure stagecraft. And it hides a flower, like a magician's final reveal.
Perfect. Abilities are still Overgrow and Protean, but we got to remember that Protean change. Only once per switch now.
Right, a big strategic nerf, relatively speaking. We should definitely circle back to that.
Okay, but first, its signature move. Flower trick.
Yes. Grass type, physical, 70 power.
And the kicker. Always hits, always crits.
Always. It's the perfect magician's trick. Flashy, unavoidable, guaranteed success. Encapsulates the theme perfectly.
And the personality. Talented, proud, showy. Sounds about right.
But also sensitive, maybe a bit jealous, but forms strong bonds. Like a temperamental star performer, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Stats-wise, Table 6 shows, wow, speed 123, attack 110.
Very fast, hits hard, clearly designed as a speedy physical attacker.
And the Pokedex in Table 7 really leans into the magician idea. Scarlet says it uses the cape lining to hide the flower stem, makes it look like it's floating.
Pure misdirection. And Violet mentions it attaching pollen-packed flower bombs to opponents without them noticing.
Flower bombs, that's amazing. It's all deception and performance.
And that grass dark typing really fits. Dark type in Pokemon often links to cunning, trickery. It just clicks with a magician theme.
We should look at its type chart too. Table 8, what are the key things there?
Oh, weaknesses. Bug is a big one, 4 times super effective. Fighting hurts too.
Ouch, that bug weakness.
Yeah, definitely something to watch out for. But it resists water, electric, grass, dark, ground, and it's immune to psychic, which is fantastic.
Good spread of resistances and a key immunity. Balances out the weaknesses somewhat.
Exactly. Every typing has its trade-offs. Planning around that bug weakness is crucial if you're using Meowscarada.
And we're seeing Meowscarada everywhere now, aren't we? Like Oko's Florigato evolved in Horizons.
Right, and Aliquis has one in Paldea Winds. Mono showed one off in that Biri music video.
And it's playable in Pokemon Unite now, too, since December 2023.
It's really made its mark. Its popularity is clear from how much it's featured across the board.
It just feels like everything comes together in Meowscarada. The typing, the mask, the cape, flower trick.
Even Protean, used once as like a quick disguise or a surprise tactic.
It nails that masterful magician identity perfectly. All the pieces just fit.
It's a really strong example of thematic design done right.
Okay, let's peek behind the curtain. Where did these designs actually come from? Let's start with Sprigatito's name.
Right, Sprig, like a little plant shoot, and Gatito, Spanish for kitten, simple, effective.
And the Japanese name, Nyahoja.
Yeah, for meow, hoja is Spanish for leaf. Again, cat plus plant. Ties into the Paldea region's Spanish inspirations right away.
And that aroma, maybe catnip related.
Seems like a likely inspiration, yeah, though not explicitly confirmed.
Then Florigato. Flora and gato, makes sense. Japanese name, Nyerote.
Likely nya plus brote. Spanish for bud or sprout. Fits with the flower bud it carries.
Design-wise, maybe Iberian lynx? Or Siamese cats?
Could be. Sleek felines seem likely. And the vine and bud used like a yo-yo or worn like a flower. Very clever. Suggests dexterity.
And maybe Puss in Boots. Or those roguish characters from Spanish picaresque novels.
Those literary links add such a cool layer, grounding it in storytelling traditions. Gives it depth.
Que Masquerada. Meow plus masquerada, masquerade in Spanish. Japanese masquerade, similar idea.
The stage magician theme is obvious. Again, maybe Iberian lynx for the sleekness. The speed and dark type fit the quick, tricky nature of magic.
And Flower Trick is literally flower magic.
Exactly. The mask looks a bit like a jester or harlequin, maybe, with those points in diamond patterns.
And the flower, you said it looks like a pomegranate.
Yeah, there's a resemblance. Pomegranates are significant in Spain, culturally. And granada, the Spanish word for pomegranate, sounds like grenade.
Linking to the flower bombs. Whoa!
It's a potential connection. Plus you have masquerade balls, Mardi Gras masks, maybe even gentleman thieves like Arsène Lupin influencing the vibe.
And the shiny colors. Kind of magic show or heisty.
They definitely have that feel, yeah. Bright, contrasting, a bit dramatic.
It's incredible how many layers there are. Especially the Spanish and European influences. It makes the whole line feel so rooted in Paldea's culture.
It really does. It's not just a random design. It feels like it belongs there.
It's like a whole narrative arc in the evolution. Kitten to performer to illusionist, woven with all these cultural threads.
It's really well done. Shows how deep Pokemon design can go.
So we've seen Sprigatito's paw print is pretty big, extending way beyond just Paldea. Table 9 sums it up: core games, anime star, manga, TCG.
And that upcoming Pokemon Go Community Day. Getting both Frenzy Plant and Flower Trick is huge for Meowscarada there.
Plus Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite. It's a proper franchise regular now.
No doubt about it. Its presence everywhere just highlights how popular it became.
And the fan reaction, it was popular right away, wasn't it? Often the top starter pick.
Hugely popular. Floragato got praise for being cool, but still kind of cute. Meowscarada's design and Flower Trick really landed well, especially in Japan, it seems.
But we have to talk about the four-leg spate.
Ah, yes. The eternal starter debate.
Yeah.
Bipedal versus quadrupedal. A lot of fans really wanted it to stay on all fours.
People were worried about another Incineroar, right? That bulky wrestler vibe.
Exactly. There was definite concern about repeating that pattern. And tons of fan theories popped up.
Like Grass Fairy Kype. Or maybe a flamenco dancer.
Yeah, or St. George legends, extinct lynx, all sorts of creative ideas. And the Weed Cat nickname definitely caught on.
Huh. Yeah, that one stuck.
It just shows how invested people get. That discussion about bipedal starters is always passionate.
It's a tough balancing act for the designers, managing expectations versus their own creative vision.
Absolutely. The fear of repetition was real. But Meowscarada, even though it's bipedal, feels very different from the Incineroar. It's sleek, agile, a magician.
Totally different aesthetic. And it seems like ultimately the design won a lot of people over, even if it wasn't the quadruped everyone wanted.
I think so. It shows that a strong, coherent theme and good execution can be more important than just sticking to one specific body type fans might ask for.
Right. Thematic strength matters. Okay, let's shift gears to competitive battling. Sprigatito itself is decent for the story.
Good speed and attack for early game, yeah. But Meowscarada is where it really shines competitively.
That high speed and attack we saw makes it dangerous.
And Flower Trick, guaranteed hit, guaranteed crit, is incredibly reliable offensive pressure.
What items does it usually hold? Choice Band, Life Orb.
Those are common, yeah. Choice Band for maximum power, Life Orb for boosted damage on all moves, but with recoil, Focus Sash to guarantee it survives one hit. Depends on the set.
And its roles. Singles versus doubles.
In single battles, it's often a wall breaker smashing through defensive Pokemon or an offensive pivot, switching in and out to maintain pressure.
And in VGC doubles.
Still a strong attacker, but can also play support. Things like disrupting opponents with Taunt, or even setting Trick Room sometimes, though that's less common given its high speed.
And terastallizing. Usually grass type.
Often, yeah. Powering up Flower Trick even more is very effective. Sometimes other types for defensive plays, but grass is common.
Okay, let's tackle Protean again. That big change in Gen 9 used to change type with every move.
Which was insanely powerful. Constant stab on almost everything. Constant defensive type changes. Greninja was a monster with it.
But now, only once per switch-in. How much did that really change things for Meowscarada?
Fundamentally, it's not about constant adaptation anymore. It's a one-shot deal per appearance.
So how do players use it now?
More tactically. Maybe you switch in, use a dark move to get stab and hit something hard, or use a coverage move like play rough or low kick to get stab once and surprise an opponent. Or maybe you predict an attack and change type defensively just that one time.
So it's still useful, just differently.
Exactly. It requires more prediction and timing. It's not the overwhelming force it once was on other Pokemon.
And yet, Meowscarada is still really good competitively, even with the changed Protean.
That's the interesting part. It shows the Pokemon itself is strong. Great stats, fantastic signature move, good typing combination. It doesn't need old Protean to be relevant.
Maybe that's healthier for the metagame, not relying so much on one superpowered ability.
I think many competitive players would argue yes. It shows a well-designed Pokemon with a solid foundation can succeed without needing an ability that some felt warped the game previously. Meowscarada thrives because it's just intrinsically good.
So, wrapping things up, we've really gone deep on Sprigatito's line today.
We definitely have. From the biology and behavior, through the cultural roots, to how it actually plays.
It's way more than just pixels and stats, isn't it? There's this whole story woven into its design and evolution. From that cute grass cat
To the skilled performer, Florigato.
all the way to the masterful magician, Meowscarada. It's been quite a journey to follow.
And its impact is clear. A fan-favorite starter, a star in the anime, a competitive force. It's made its mark.
It really makes you think about how much these hidden layers, the cultural nods, the thematic journey contribute to why we connect with certain Pokemon.
Absolutely. That depth adds so much to their appeal and legacy.
Makes you wonder, what other Pokemon designs have these kinds of hidden stories, these cultural threads that maybe we haven't fully appreciated yet? Definitely something to keep in mind next time you're exploring the Pokemon world.
Food for thought.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.